how many of you discovered that quality of that object? That it actually changes state, it melts. And Helen, up the back, discovered another quality, that this particular object is terrible. It actually, you can divide it into 2, into 3, into 4. So you see, different objects have all sorts of different properties. Now, we're going to swap roles. Please go and wash your hands. Num num. Marshmallow? You can have one too if you want. Num num. Yes, they do. Okay. Just waiting for one person to come back from washing their hands. Just as a point of curiosity, how many of you have done massage training or some sort of tactile body work? Yeah. In your training, did you have a little thing about touching skills and sensing different qualities of? Not much. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. There's a great little book by Leonard Chaitau on tactile skills, and at the front of the book, he's talking about how in his training, they would have wood, ceramic, and they would detect these different qualities of these objects. And I thought, wow, that's very involved. Now, please close your eyes, and the rest of you come and follow me. Once again, nothing obnoxious, okay? Nothing obnoxious. Okay. So before we go into part 2, this whole business of finding out what the properties of the world are is what we're doing from in the womb till the day we're dead. And those of us that keep on moving into places in the world that are different from what we're used to, that's what we're continuously doing. And those of us that like to sit in our armchairs in the familiar environments, well, then you have to become more detailed in your intention, where you, to the point where you do good old Kabat-Zinn's, you know, this is a raisin, you know, enjoy the raisin. Yeah. But notice something that you all did. Yeah. You all paid attention to your object. Did you not? Yeah. Now, are you in a better place to answer the question from this morning? What do you do to pay attention? No, it's a rhetorical question. You can answer that yourself. What is it that you do to pay attention? Notice that there's some sort of conscious relationship between the object and some sort of mental process. And that's not an abstract thing. How many, you know, some of you naughty, naughty people, as soon as that object landed in your hand, yeah, that's another answer, but to a slightly different question. When we want to explore the world, we don't just go, okay, world, here we go. I'm ready. Oh yeah, it's cold. I can feel some wind. Gee, it's a pretty boring world, isn't it? Yeah. We don't do that. And remember this. And this is part of what I would call cutting edge cognitive science, because it's becoming more and more established, that there is perception is a form of doing. You do something to perceive. That little story about the animals this morning roaming through the world, they're all doing something. Now, the fact that you're alive means you are doing. You are in a constant process of doing. Your movement helps you to detect where gravity is. Your movement helps you to detect where you are in space. Your eyes are constantly in motion. If they weren't, you wouldn't see. So whether you're aware of it or not, as an animated living being, you are in motion, which means you are perceiving. And not only that, perception is cognition. So if you're alive, you're cognizant, you're perceiving. And that's a big deal. That really is a big deal, because that turns everything that came before completely on its head. You're not just passive, you're active. And depending on the sophistication of your activity, because some of you are really sophisticated, you're going, oh yeah, can I put my fingernail in there? Yeah, I can. Look. Oh, it's peelable. It's peelable. Didn't know it's peelable. Yeah. So depending on the sophistication of your action, your perceptions, you're able to detect more and more and more and more. Yeah. So that's where you go to in functional integration practice. You hone your skills about how to move yourself so that you can detect more and more and more and more about the person in front of you. So this is where we're about to go to, but just a short little, I said short before, didn't I? Turn it long. So could you please now change from being in pairs to being in trios? Ta-da! No! Did she? That's amazing. That's amazing. Okay. Now, one person in that trio, could you please lie on your front in the most comfortable position you can? One person in that trio, lie on their front in the most comfortable position you can. The other person, sit beside the person on the floor. Just sit beside them somewhere. Sit beside them, not at their head, not at their feet, to one side or the other side. And the third person, please come over here and I'll tell you what to do. Right. So look, it's just way. Okay. Those of you who are sitting, listen up, listen up. Those of you who are sitting, please close your eyes. Sit close enough to your person. Don't be far away. Those of you who are sitting beside your partner, close your eyes and don't open them. And to let you know, this is the same process as you just did with the marshmallow and you did with the mandarin. But now you have a person underneath your hand. Off you go. Same process. So just to remind you, this is not about guessing anything. This is about sensing through touch, first of all in stillness, then a little bit of gross movement of the arm, and then finer movement of the hand, and then even finer movement of the hand, and then maybe two hands. What are the properties that you can detect underneath your hands? Yeah. So it's the same process that you just did a moment ago. You know, you start off with your hand just there and you go, okay, so what can I sense? What properties can I detect when my hand is just still? Warmth, softness, shape. And then after a while, you can start to move your whole arm, but don't do the wiggly things with your fingers yet. What do you start to sense when you move your whole arm? And then when you start to move your hand in that very articulate way, then what do you start to sense? And just like you did before, if you want to articulate the property that you're sensing, please articulate that to the person on the floor and also the person who put your hand on that place. Ah, I detect that there's some gushiness here. It's a bit of gush. Who? Who? Are the hands-on people? You can now open your eyes. That's okay. I think I'm on air now. I wasn't on air a moment ago. Yes, you can open your eyes. So, person that was just lying on the floor, come over with me. Person who actually took the partner's hand and put that on the other person, you get to lie down on the floor. And on the front. Okay, come over here. Okay, so what are 3 things that you tended to see in terms of how people investigate, how people start to use their hands to perceive things? Whatever comes to mind, and we'll share that list tomorrow as well. So that we'll start to develop a little kind of a list of observations and a list of properties. Because we are physical beings. We are very much like the Mandarin, and there's parts of us and parts of us that are very much like the marshmallow. Yep. So there's a marshmallow in everybody, and so is there a Mandarin. And remembering that, could you please just have a quick break, toilet, drink, and be back on the floor for ATM to finish off the day? Okay?